Okay, Asia session live. Currently looking at USDJPY. UJ saw this setup on the daily. Have everything I'm looking for in the quick buy section here. We have bearish directional bias, momentum time frame triggered the previous month high, currently in bearish fake out. Market expansion, breakout bars on the setup time frame as well as the momentum time frame tells me that the market's moving. There are ranges here, but there are large ranges, and so I don't mind getting involved in this since we do have strong momentum. I just have to be a little bit careful about all these ranges here. Last bar closed as a false breakout move. So we do have a trigger bar and we also have a setup. That star icon is my trend retracement setup. In a trend retracement setup, I want to see higher time frames push strong in one direction. We have that. Then I want to see a bearish breakout bar in the daily time frame, which we have as well. And finally, I want to see price retrace up to that breakout level, fake out the momentum time frame, and then take a trade down to the previous day low and possibly further than that. So I trade the trend retracement setup on the bar itself, and I trade the daily bar on the M15 or the M10. So right now, looking at the M15, what I want to see is price retrace up to that breakout level and fake out the momentum time frame, which is the H8, which is above here. And on the M10, I'm looking at the H4 as the momentum time frame, and we've already faked out the H4. So kind of looking at both these time frames, which one is setting up better. Currently, the H4 one is setting up better, but the new H4 bar closes in 40 minutes. So I'm not going to get involved in this until this H4 bar closes. If you get in too close to the closing time of these bars, you risk getting in drawdown in the next bar. If you look at all these bars, you'll see lots of top wicks, bottom wicks. Close to that closing time, you're going to find retracement. And then if you get in right at closing time, very often in the next bar, you're going to find yourself in drawdown at some point. So I never get in when we're close to closing time on these bigger time frame bars. Going to wait for this to close. So H4 closes in 40 minutes as well as the H8. On the H8, if it closes like this, we have a bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out, and that would be a trend continuation setup. So if we have a bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out, I'd be looking for a trend continuation. I would want to see price retrace up to the high, fake that out, and then take it back down. That's what I'd be looking for on the H8. And then on the H4, we have a bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out. So right now I'm looking at a trend continuation move on the H4. But if what I'd like to see is this close in bullish breakout. So if this closes in bullish breakout, that would push this up. And I'd be looking for a trend reversal instead on the H4 timeframe, which I trade on the M10. So I would like to see a bullish breakout and then take this fake out at the top here, but don't know if that'll happen. Still plenty of time for this bar to close. Let's see if this closes and breakout. It would be much better for this to close and break out. It pushes the breakout level up, and that's the ideal scenario for me. I'm always looking for those reversal patterns. So once price triggers these momentum timeframes, I'm looking for one of my cycle alignment patterns. The one that I like the most, if we have a bearish breakout bar, is this reversal pattern. So this is the one that I'm always kind of hunting for, which time frame gives me this one. I'm not going to get that on the H8. The H8 would be a continuation, a breakout continuation. Where am I here? Over here. Would be this one. The H8 breakout level would be up high, and then I'd be faking out a high to take this down. So that'd be a breakout continuation. When I have breakout continuations, I prefer to actually drop down to lower time frames and look for a reversal in the lower time frame instead. So plenty of things for me to do. Markets fractal, the setups on lower time frames and higher time frames. I like when I see both alignment of these setups forming. And so I do kind of like this. I just need to wait for 35 minutes and see which one looks better to me. But right now, I kind of like the H4 better. But let's see what happens here. Okay, so I'll be back in 35 minutes. Not going to touch any of this. Need to see this bar close. If it closes like this, we have a bearish fake out followed by a bullish fake out. That's a definition of a range for me. If we have a bearish opposite facing fake out bars in a row, then that creates a range. So whatever happens, I need this to close and break out. And so that's what I'm waiting for. It absolutely must close and break out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be interested in this. Okay, so I'll be back in 35 minutes. Okay, so H4 and H8 bar just closed. Just got back from the gym here. So H4 closed. Let's see. Bearish fake out. So this is what I didn't want to see on the H4. This creates a range. So not going to be trading when we're inside the range. I want to see price get up to that high. So that would be ideal. Well, ideal scenarios for the new H4 bar to close and break out. And this H4 bar is next closure of the H4 bar is in London. So this might be something that I'm looking for if I don't get a entry on a different time frame here. So on the H4, I definitely need it to come up and trigger that high. Otherwise, there's no trade. I'm not going to be trading inside this range. It needs to trigger that high in order for me to take it down to follow my bias on the daily. But ideal scenario is for that H4 bar to close and break out, which would happen in London. So I have to be careful about that or be aware of that. So that's just set up on the H4. On the H8, close bullish fake out. So this is the trend continuation move that I'd be looking for. I want to see price trigger that H8 high. And if it does that, I'd be looking for one of my cycle alignment patterns. And I can already see that it would be a breakout continuation move. So we have a breakout, and then on the higher time frames and then lower time frames, we have the breakout level up here. We're breaking out of a low, faked out the low. That's coming back, retracing up. And once you fake out the high over here, that would be a breakout continuation. So breakout continuations, I can drop down to lower time frames and then look for it on a lower time frame. No longer interested in the M10. If it triggers that H8, I'm dropping down to a lower time frame where I trade this H8, which I trade on the M5. So M5, still a ways away for me. I need to see that triggered, but I would like to see a reversal pattern here on the M5. But first things first, waiting for this to get triggered. Otherwise, I have no interest in trading this. All right, so London session right now. UJ is not really a London session pair, but you can trade USD pairs any session. And since I did see this in Asia, I might as well just continue trading this one. Trigger that H8 high. And so now I'm waiting for a alignment pattern over here. What I like to see is price come up and then close in fake out. And don't have much clarity up here on the M15, so I can look at the H8 on the M5. Lots of fake out outside where don't have good expansion state over here. Market's not in expansion, so I do want to see one of these timeframes break out. Right now, it's just stuck in the middle here. I want to see this market start moving. So I like what the H8 is doing. I just don't like what the H2 is doing. So H2 closes at the same time that the H4 opens as well. Let's bring that H4 here. H2. And so next influx of volume in London session is right here. Did not find what I wanted here at London Open, so I'm going to wait for this H4 bar, which also is going to be the H2. We're in ranges here. We'd like this to break out of this, and then I'd be looking for a reversal. Yep, so most likely I'll be waiting until the H4 bar, and I'll be back. All right, so H4 bar closed in London, did not close in breakout. That range still exists, so that's not what I wanted to see. Would prefer to have closed in breakout. So this might be a York session trade, but I'll just hang around for a little bit longer here. I need to see it fake out the top here. Let's see at 10 minutes. Okay, so what I want to see in order to take a trade here, I need to see it fake out this H4 high. Need to see a rejection to the top, and if it can get back inside that range on the H4, then I might go for a range trade. A 3-minute trade. You should see that range level somewhere right there. So now if we try to break out and fakes and it doesn't work going to the top, then I'll get in on the range move. It'll be a range trade. But that's the only way that I would be getting in. Flipping this H1. Need to see rejection on this time frame. All right, so that's it. If it doesn't do that, then I'm waiting for the H8, which is New York session. Okay, so still no trades today. Okay, so UJ just continues to go down. Looking at the M15 momentum right now, and I'm basically just going to wait for an M15 high to get faked out, and then I'll look for that continuation on the M1. So hopefully it pulls back maybe below this H1 breakout level, and then I can get a tight entry from there. All right, so UJ has pulled back, and now we have an entry right over here. So I'm going to take my first trade of the day here, waiting for price. Already flipped the breakout levels, just looking for continuation here, and got in on this little move here. Stop loss at the highs. So this would have been a nice one, breakout continuation. I dropped down to lower time frames, did not find what I wanted. Didn't take it because it did not come up and reject the top. So I did not have a sign of a rejection. Price just dropped, and I don't chase the price. I just waited for price to retrace or pull back, and taking that continuation move down to the lows. So over here, I was waiting for price to come up and reject. Did not reject. And if it doesn't do that, then I want to get in below the H2 low. So a little bit too far for me. So waited for price to come back up and gave me my pattern over here. Let's see, false breakout move, breakout reversal. Flipping that breakout level is a false breakout. And now I'm looking for price to continue on. All right, so that's it. Didn't put too much into this one. I would have preferred my stops at the high. We're right before New York session, so there's a possibility that this can continue on up and I can get another entry at the top. So I don't want to put in too much size here. All right, so that's it. And just going to let this go. And that's it for London session. That's it for Asia session. I started looking at this in Asia. Wasn't able to find any entry until just now. All right, so I'll be back in New York session. Okay, so I was browsing around a little bit and I just realized that on the H4, we have a fake out retracement. So I'm going to be taking my partials right now since we are approaching the previous H4 low. I'm going to step away for a bit. So I'm just going to take partials here, about 2.5 R, and we'll just let this continue running. Most of my losses come in this fake out retracement cycle, and it's very often because I'm always looking to trade past it, but technically this is bullish. There's no problems at all trading a fake out retracement. I just have to realize that the breakout level is bullish, so there is a possibility that price can get stuck around here. There's also a weekly breakout level as well that we're trading into. So just gonna take some partials here first and see if this wants to continue. All right. And that's it. I think I'm done with this trade. I'm not going to continue watching it or anything. This is what it's going to be, 2.5 R, and letting the rest run. All right. So this was based off of the daily. Have everything on the daily that I want. Looking for a trend retracement. Saw it finally happen in London. So initially I was looking for it in Asia. It didn't happen in Asia. Came up, triggered the H8 in London. Waited for the H4 to close. And closed, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the H4 did not close where I wanted it to. Didn't close in breakout. Yeah, I was waiting for a breakout. Didn't happen. So that kind of threw me off a bit. And so I did not trust this move. Because there was no rejection at the top. But once it pulled back, I got in on a lower time frame. So M15 is bearish, waited for a pullback, trading momentum. If I trade momentum, I'm looking for pullbacks. So picked it off, got a little bit of drawdown, but ended up being all right. And yep, so that's it. That's the trade. And now waiting for New York.